The first overall selection in the 2022 NHL Draft belongs to the Montreal Canadiens.
It was an extremely exciting day for our amateur scouting staff, for the entire Montreal Canadiens organization. But anytime you have the opportunity to pick first, it's an incredible opportunity to get the player that your entire amateur scouting staff, your manager group, feels can help your team the most.
It is a photo finish. So who is number one on your list? Shane Wright, who's been number one through most of the year, or the Olympic and World Championship sensation in Slavkovsky?
Shane Wright est au sommet de ta liste.
Moi, je demeure avec lui. Je sais qu'il y a beaucoup de discussions là, depuis les dernières semaines.
They're doing a great job of keeping everybody guessing.
Shane Wright ne fait pas l'unanimité. C'est assez égalitaire cette année.
C'est enfin ce soir qu'on va savoir qui le Canadien choisira en tout premier.
A lot of suspense around the first pick. Montreal's going to do tonight.
So what are they going to do?
I can't wait for the draft now. Montreal with the number one pick in their own city. It's going to be a fantastic.
Do the right thing, Montreal.
Les Canadiens de Montréal sont fiers de repêcher from the Slovakian national team Juraj Slavkovsky.
On a eu notre combine à Buffalo. Ça, c'est des joueurs qui ont été demandés d'être là. Premièrement, on fait des entrevues. Mettre un visage sur un joueur de hockey, c'est important. Puis checker le background, si c'est une bonne personne, leur caractère. On sait comment ils sont en tant que joueur de hockey, mais en tant que personne aussi, c'est important.
You left home at what age?
I was 14.
How old were you when you went to TPS?
15.
15. Alone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did you live?
In an apartment.
By yourself?
By myself.
Who cooked for you?
Me. Yeah.
Yeah. You're a good cook?
No, just basic things like chicken and those things.
Yeah. Was it hard?
I just had my mom on the phone all the time, so I called her and she told me what to do and when it's good, then yeah, that's how I learned.
How are you in the face-off?
Very good.
Like how good?
Best in the OHL.
Oh yeah? I didn't know. I'm just kidding. What's the difference between you and Vic?
I mean, he won a lot more face-offs this year than I did. Face-off percentage, that's for sure. But we both really compete during the game.
What about the Bobby Smith Trophy?
This kind of the Scholastic Player of the Year. So I had a very good average in school and had a successful season as well that allowed me to win that award.
I mean, how can you balance like two very, very busy things in your life?
Good work ethic and good time management skills.
You're on the road, you get back home, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. You're going to do what I do, eh? You just got to sleep in and blow it off, no?
No, I don't think I slept in once after a long road trip.
Where do you get the drive from, though? Or is that just part of your personality? You want to succeed at whatever the heck you do?
Yeah, I just want to be the best that I can be, at everything that I, set my mind to and everything that I do.
Well, I don't think it was hard, and I think interviews shouldn't be easy. Our approach was, let's make them think a little bit more than just a generic interview.
We take that very seriously. We laugh with the kids. They've never heard some of these questions before. One time we got an answer that some kid is a unicorn. So that was interesting, and one was a spider, and one was a mosquito. We only got one female line, so only one kid actually watches the Nature Channel, that the female line does all the work. We got a lot of male lines and that we challenge kids on, and one was smart enough to throw the female line out there.
What would it mean to your mom and if you get drafted and play, say, in Montreal?
They will be very proud of me, I think, and maybe I will be crying.
Yeah. What do you know about Montreal?
When you are good, it's fun to play in front of the fans, but then if some things are not working out, it's also pretty hard.
And what do you think about it?
It comes with that, and I just need to make sure I play good if I'm there.
And after that, you know, there's testings. You know, obviously testings is, again, a tool. You don't base your opinion, your decision on testing only or on the interview only.
We believe it's very important to be present and observe how kids interact with staff, how they test, how much potential their bodies might have. You can't see that on paper. You can see only the result. You can see two players on the VO2 test biking against one another, and who wins that race does matter. But not only who wins the race, but how far kids push themselves. Are they willing to go to that extra level? Again, paper does not show that.
If I see a guy that's strong, bigger, but I see there's no compete, I mean, that tells me something. So I'd rather get a guy that's undeveloped, but the compete, the fight is there. And
Juraj, with all the time that you spent with Montreal this week, how much do you think they have a real interest in you as a #1 pick?
I think they were like interested, and I didn't have the dinner, but I think that talk we had was maybe like, to me, it tasted better than dinner. Yeah.
Past day, we've called in area scouts to make sure that their guys were well placed on the grid, and to get opinions and to get some debates going.
This is the big show. This is our Super Bowl, our Stanley Cup final, and this is the last opportunity for our group to finalize our draft board, fight for the players that we want to select, and ultimately determine who we're going to select to be the next Montreal Canadiens.
Obviously an important decision to make here with the first pick. And, you know, Jeff and I have been going back and forth, and Nick and Marty on the pick to make sure that we dot our I's, cross our T's here, and make sure that we're doing the right things. To me, it doesn't matter. There's no wrong answer, whether it's Cooley, whether it's Shane Wright, whether it's Slafkovsky, and whether there's another player out there that somebody thinks has more upside. You know, ultimately, putting position aside, which player do you guys believe has the most upside as an NHL player down the road, not today?
I don't know right, but I go Slafkovsky. And another reason is I want some of the other guys, smaller guys. But he's a big horse, and that's why I would go with him, because it's a piece of the puzzle that follows.
If taking Slafkovsky means that we don't start drafting guys later for size, because I think that's where teams make mistakes.
That's a great
where we start drafting guys because they're 6'2" and one guy's 6 foot. We say, oh, well, we need size, we need size, we need size. If that stops us from doing that, it's already a win for me anyways.
You know, hockey historians are paying attention to what this guy managed to achieve. At what age? To be at the World Championship at the age of 16 is unprecedented. No one has done that, even in the 80s and the 70s. And obviously what he's done on the big stages this year is also pretty much unprecedented. He just has that personality to want to take the bulls by the horn. He wants to own the moment, the situation. I just talked to guys who had him at the World Olympics this morning. I said, you know, you kept bumping him up the lineup. Okay, he goes to the Olympics, 4th line to the 1st line, because other guys were not carrying the mail. All of a sudden he ends up on that line, and that line is carrying the mail. Same thing happens at the Worlds. So he's doing it with that drive, desire, owning the moment, and it's a personality trait. It's more than just a skill, a hockey skill. He just has that personality trait that wants to own the stage. And I think he has proven that to the world of hockey, that he is not a one-hit wonder, okay, that he is repeating those performances. We saw him at TPS in the playoffs. He was excellent. And he just kept getting better and better and better. Every month, every shift, every tournament. Lastly, a country of 5 million has been talking about this kid for, what, 3 years now? Yep. 4 years now? The pressure on him is a country. And so far, he's handled it unbelievably well. So to gauge how the kid can handle pressure, I think there's evidence, and the proof is in the pudding, not only through the tournaments, but through this period of time of maybe 2.5 years, 3 years, where he's been the next one. And he kept getting better while under pressure of that 5 million population. So what we are looking for is talent and mental resiliency. It's hard to play in this market. It's hard to excel in this market. So we are trying to find the kids who have those special qualities, coupled with talent, who can succeed in Montreal.
Skating is really important now. Of course, skill, but what's been emphasized more and more is character and work ethic. So it's a combination of everything, but if you can't skate, you can't play. If you don't compete, you can't play.
D'habitude, c'est 5 matchs. Il faut que tu vois les joueurs pendant 5 matchs à 100%, puis là, tu vois vraiment quelle sorte de joueur que tu penses, parce qu'on projette beaucoup, nous autres, des dépisteurs. Fait on le voit dans 3 ans, 4 ans, qu'est-ce qui va avoir de l'air.
Just maybe some clarity on the names you're looking at 26. Nesar is the little guy.
It's a little guy from Slovakia, very skilled, very good skater. Good on the puck, good on the power play, good shot. Can score, can produce the offense.
Beck, I love Beck. I would pound the table for him at 26.
Well, now we're moving into that 62. Yeah.
Hudson. In professional hockey, the percentage of defensemen that are doing what you're saying that this guy does is extremely rare. In our prospect group, there is no one. And each team that is a contending team in the National Hockey League right now has this player. So if we're talking about that player in the 3rd round, that's pretty good value in my estimation.
If my were the same as Serge, I would go Rohrer. I really liked what I saw from him at the World Juniors. Same thing, second last game of the season, he played center. And he went toe-to-toe against Shane, and he almost scored the overtime winner went between his legs. Like it went off the post.
Rohrer's personality, he's super confident in himself. This kid can win at Pachisi if he played Pachisi against anyone.
What's Pachisi?
That's a game.
Is it?
No one is smart enough to do it alone. It's too hard, and there are too many layers. You have to know so much about so many different disciplines: sports medicine, psychology, sports performance, analytics. Now with Chris Boucher's arrival, it's been extremely helpful. When you're looking at 2 very similar players, the math is very impressive. It helps you to split the difference when you have a lot of experience from different angles surrounding you. And if you're alone in a dark room, no matter how smart you think you are, it's a hard business.
He's a 3-pillar guy, so driving possession's good, creating offense is good, and the overall impact is good. Net front's good. It kind of drops off from there.
What Chris does best is he can explain the math in hockey language that is digestible to a hockey audience. His modeling is as close to the truth as I've ever seen.
You know, I think a lot of the times it does, confirm what your eyes are seeing, but I think it's those times where he adds a different dimension to a discussion, sees something that perhaps maybe you don't as an evaluator of talent. I think those are the times where, it can really help, define your list.
C'est sûr que moi, je scoute avec mes yeux. Puis c'est sûr que je prends des notes et tout, mais lui, il scoute avec toutes les statistiques, l'entrée du son, la sortie du son, la façon qu'il récupère la rondelle, 1 contre 1, les batailles. Il fait tout ça, lui. Fait que ça nous donne d'autres outils pour améliorer notre scouting aussi en même temps. Fait que je pense que c'est très positif pour le Canadien de Montréal.
Whether or not you're trying to project a player with data or whether you're trying to project a player with traditional scouting, you're still, like we said earlier, you're still just trying to predict the future. And and a lot of that's going to be on the player themselves, how they're going to develop, how much they're going to dedicate to their own development. The way he plays, the way he can move the puck, the way he sees the ice. So he's not one of those guys who sees here, he sees there. The right side of the board, even the goalie, if the goalies obviously.
Yeah, the goalies are.
Even look better here.
There's more value there.
I always say you got to make the right choice at every pick. There's going to be debates at every pick, but you know, again, that's something that we really enjoy as scouts, and you know, that's something I think, you know, brings out the best in our group.
And there's a funny story from years before. Andre Savard was the GM, and our European scouts, we were pushing for a European player. I don't remember who it was, but Andre Savard had his favorite, and he jammed his fist to the table and said, "I don't know your guy, but my guy is better."
Everybody is there as a long shot, but my guy is better than yours.
To me, you need to sell it to me a lot more than.
I can't deny his talent and what he can do on the ice. It's just, he's a good hockey player. So there's risk, but there is home run potential too, so.
99% of the time, an NHL player that's a role player, there was production in their history. So don't fall in love with, you know, the character without the talent. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Like, I love Marty's point, but I didn't want 20 of them on my team. One's enough.
No, you can't have 20. Okay, he's right, but he's part of the puzzle. It's good for today, boys.
Yeah.
Good work. Spend a lot of time. It's a grid on draft day. You know, a lot of things can happen. So it's there for guidelines. We might, you know, move a little bit from it, but become draft day, you know, that grid is pretty solid, and we don't stray too far away from it.
C'est fou. Regarde, moi, ça fait 12 ans que je travaille pour le Canadien, puis sa première année, on est à Montréal, puis moi, je pense que c'est exceptionnel. Puis on a le premier choix overall.
I'm in the business to do a job. I'm very excited. We have the first pick overall. It's in Montreal. Je pense qu'il va tout le temps avoir de la pression à Montréal, mais c'est de la bonne pression. Les gens ils veulent avoir du bon hockey à Montréal. On va essayer de leur donner des bons joueurs de hockey, puis ça part du draft.
Je me sens pas stressé du tout. Je pense qu'on a fait tous nos devoirs, toute la gang, fait que je pense qu'on est prêt pour le repêchage et je suis persuadé qu'on va repêcher super bien.
Bienvenue au repêchage. Bienvenue à tous les fans du hockey.
The first selection in the 2022 NHL Draft belongs to the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal, you are on the clock.
Let's go.
With our first pick in the 2022 NHL Draft, les Canadiens de Montréal sont fiers de repêcher from the Slovakian national team and TPS Turku, Juraj Slafkovsky.
Oh yeah, with this jersey? Yeah, looks good, man. They look nice.
You want to hear the two trades? They involve the Canadiens. Trade number one. Montreal Canadiens trade Alexander Romanov and pick number 98 in this year's draft to the New York Islanders in exchange for a pick number 13 in this year's draft. Trade number two. Montreal trades picks number 13 and 66 in this year's draft to the Chicago Blackhawks in exchange for Kirby Dach.
When they heard they got Romy for 13, they weren't happy. They like Kirby, apparently. It's called Kirby Dach. Kirby, can you hear me? I wanted to welcome you. We are absolutely thrilled. We've been working on this non-stop for about 48 hours. You'll love the coach, most importantly. Okay, Marty will reach out to you. Oh, no way. Okay, you got it. Okay, bye. He's like, I'm really excited. Like, you guys got a young team. You're gonna be good. I'm like, you're gonna come here. We're gonna play some offense. You're gonna skate and use your body. And I don't know if you noticed, but we just got a guy who might look twice as big as you. And I'm starting to think about the next.
If you're picking right now, who are you taking? Right now?
We're going to have a whole country of fans, right?
Les Canadiens de Montréal sont fiers de sélectionner de la Ligue élite de Slovaquie, Philippe Méchard.
Uri, I mean, he's a pretty impressive kid. He wants to make a difference, and that's the way he plays the game.
Philippe Méchard, his childhood friend, very fast, very skilled, very slippery, very smart.
Owen Beck is a 200-foot player. He's got A's at school. He does 8 things on the ice.
Lane Hudson is that power play quarterback, projected to go higher by most rankings. Vinny Rohr excels at basically everything he touches. Adam Engstrom, skating, size.
Cédric Guindon, c'est un jeune qui a beaucoup de talent, qui a de l'explosivité dans son patin.
Jared Davidson, it's a never-stopping engine.
Petteri Nurmi, c'est un défenseur très mobile.
Emmett Croteau, a big goalie who moves extremely well.
Finalement, Miguel Tourigny, très dimensionnel offensivement.
I think every team leaves the draft thinking they just hit 14 home runs and got 14 Hall of Famers. So time will tell. Walking away knowing that you've done everything you could to support long-term interests of the franchise, that's success.